Hello, everyone, and welcome to another power packed episode of the Kapil Gupta Career Pod Show, where inspiration meets aspiration. And I'm your host, Kapil Gupta. Now, today's guest is someone who needs no introduction in the world of innovation, data science, and education. But still, let's give him the one he deserves. He's someone who has turned curiosity into a mission and learning into a global movement. From working with giants like GE and Wipro to founding his own global learning platform, from earning over 200 plus certifications in AI/ML to winning 300 plus awards in innovation and project management, he's done it all. He's not just a data scientist, he's a full stack educator, an innovation mentor, and a modern day monk practicing Vipassana meditation with the same dedication he gives to algorithms. He has taught over 1 lakh students across 175 countries, built a fan base of 500K AI enthusiasts, and continues to serve the world with his mission to deliver high quality, low cost education to 7 billion people. So, Gen Z, if you dream of mixing brains with impact, if AI, data science, and purpose driven living excite you, this is your masterclass right here. So let's welcome the inspirational Dr. Noble Arya. Hello, Dr.
Hello, hi.
Welcome to the Kapil Gupta Career Pod Show. And I'm so glad that I could actually got a chance to actually interview you because this is something the Gen Z actually needs. And with the kind of achievements you have, I'm sure this podcast will be full of value, full of inspiration for our listeners. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm grateful on this show and you inviting me for this show, and I'm really grateful. And the audience, I'm definitely will be adding a lot of value.
Thank you. Thank you. And without further ado, I would like you to go down the memory lane, right? To go back in time. So, how did your journey into data, AI innovation actually begin? Because we feel as if it's a new concept, but you have already achieved so much in this field. So, if I ask you, were you always this curious as a child?
Yes. Actually, what AI is doing today or technology, I used to visualize when I was in fifth or fourth standard. But my teachers couldn't understand my natural intelligence. We all have natural intelligence, and
Right,
natural intelligence is billions of years of evolution happened in humankind, and that information is inside our genes. In through the culture, the country we are living in, we had saints, sages, scientists, and we have come from very long evolution, and so curiosity was there. And what was the actually I faced a lot of challenges, but what was important point was that I used to reflect um, uh, on my moves in life, like that what should I do, how can I improve myself little bit every day. And I remember when I wrote my first sentence in English, I was so happy that can think in English, and I can. It's not about English. It's about like uh, wanted to learn something, and then I started thinking in that, and that I used to visualize. So I give one example. I used to think like if we can have houses like who can move from one city to other city around third or fourth standard. I used to think like that. That and later I came to know that they have like people have designed caravans or houses
Right.
on the wheels. And I used to think technology, what IoT is going to do now, while you can control the entire house using technology. Even if you are in America, you have house in India, you can control each and everything, which will be the reality in the future. I used to visualize such things in my around fourth or fifth standard around.
Wow. This is actually amazing because students are curious. Obviously, we say when students or kids imagine, there's no logic behind it. It is
Yeah, no
pure
logic,
imagination, right?
pure.
It's pure imagination.
And
And when they,
Einstein says the highest research is imagination.
right, so right, so right. So, but you have worked with GE, Wipro in so high impact roles. But then, what key lessons from the corporate world helped you shape this noble transformation hub?
Yeah, actually, from beginning again, I faced challenges like uh, I had learning disability. Why? Because I had natural intelligence. I was brimming with ideas, imagination, curiosity. But the thing was that I cannot express my knowledge and the insights and the observations I used to do very deeply. I will observe life evolving. I'll see leaves growing. I'll see they're not same. I see flowers. I see animals. I see change happening, agility. I see knowledge everywhere, but I was not having language to express it. Then I worked on it. I worked for 1 or 2 years. I deeply went into that, and because of that, I got a job, and I gave around 30 interviews for my first job, and I worked for 6 months completely to prepare myself for the job. And I was lucky; I got into Fortune 500 company, and there. But the curiosity to know, like education, what it is, because I was not satisfied with the kind of education we have, whether it is government, private, or the way people perceive it. So, though I knew the definition of education was a modification of behaviors, but that education helps us to modify our behaviors. It helps, but then I'll see there's a huge gap between what is being taught and what is being applied, and there are a lot of loopholes and gap. So there is a huge gap between applied education theory and application, and that was with me that I wanted to do something for this because I faced such challenges from the beginning. I was naturally intelligent. I used to give 200%, but I used to get very less marks. And then I started improving myself, and then that made me like continuous. I became lifelong learner. Now people say lifelong learner, but I became lifelong learner at that point of time, and that is why that then I said that let me create a platform wherein I can educate people, because education should not be painful. It should be fun. It should be engaging. It should be simple. It should be And then I started doing holistic research, how world class universities and institutes and best people who are the best teachers in the world, how they teach. So I started doing that research and simplifying the concepts, and this is how Noble Translation Hub was born.
Wow. And I will fully agree with you. Ki the gaps in education still exists, right? We have always talked about that knowledge is the key, but to move forward in our country, you need marks,
Right.
right? Because that is the only parameter with which you can actually move forward. And what I read about nowadays that the world is actually moving towards degree-less education.
True.
That if you have the knowledge, if you have the right skill, then you can get that knowledge will make you employable. So, am I
Right.
right on that?
Right. So,
Hmm.
so we used to say earlier, knowledge is power, but knowledge is not power. So I am going to challenge that status quo. Knowledge is not power. Actually, applied knowledge is power.
Right,
So if you know the gap between application of knowledge and you know how to apply it, and you have deep conceptual clarity in your knowledge, then and only you are going to apply it properly. So
right,
earlier we used to think that theory is knowledge. Then there came a stage around 90s or 20s. We started thinking, oh no, we it should be applied. Again, both ages were wrong, because you need to have a balance of theory and application together, because until unless you don't know what, you don't know why, you are not going to do how. And the
right, right,
conceptual clarity, fundamentally, you need to know deeply the semantics of semantic meaning level meaning, meta level meaning, and deep meta level meaning of each words what you're using in your education, or you're defining things before you get degree or you want to go for job. Because if you don't understand concepts deeply, then you are actually doing surface level education, and definitely you're not going to be skilled. Even if you go and apply, you will do very partial level of application, because you don't have fundamentally deeper and meta level understanding about the concept. You're just copy pasting or just learning, and you will make a lot of mistakes, and that there will be a lot of inefficiencies over the years, because your conceptual clarity is not there, and because of that, the deep level of understanding how to apply that concept is not there.
right, right. Fully agree on that. And I saw your journey, and actually, you've come a long way, right? You have 200 plus certifications, 300 plus awards, and that's actually unbelievable. I know some years back I was reading some article about Arun Netriwal. He was the president of AT&T Bell Labs, and he had a number of certification or inventions under his belt. So I was really amazed by that person's proficiency. So, but what is that with you? How do you keep yourself so updated? Because obviously I didn't get a chance to interact with him, but you are no less a wonder for me. So what motivated you to keep learning?
Actually, in my genes, in my DNA, there are two things. One is curiosity, simplicity, and knowing everything, non-biased knowledge. And I don't learn for job, money. Even if I do seminars, I never talk about money. You give me this much, then I'll come. I don't talk about that. And if I charge in my programs, so I always think my session or my program should be 100x value. If you pay 1x, it should be 100x valued, because uh, that is my nature. I can't change that, and maybe because of that I exist. And that is how I know myself. That is my nature. And uh, uh, it is from beginning, whatever work I do, work I do, it's like I am doing puja, I am doing worship to the God. I'm worshiping the God. Whether I study, whether I work for any company, whether I work for myself, whether I help anybody. So I am 100% into that. So I take it as a worship, and that all these awards and certification, everything is a byproduct.
Right. And so, using that knowledge, in fact, you learned it and you applied it, and you are actually now sharing that knowledge with others. So, you have trained 100,000 plus students globally. And obviously, it has been a long journey. So, if I may ask you, what changes do you see in the way young people approach AI and innovation today? What changes? Because over the years, like obviously 100,000 plus is a huge number. So, what is that progression you have seen in the students?
Actually, students, we have different students. The main thing is, when I was a student, so I'll compare, I do correlation with that. So the thing was, I was curious, my numbers were less, the marks were less, I had natural intelligence. Likewise, I see intelligence is there, but it is unlocked. Like, it is locked intelligence, which teachers need to unlock the intelligence. And we all have intelligence and natural intelligence in us. It is just that we need to have facilitators who can guide those students, and they are very intelligent, they are genius. But I think they need to be hand holded, guided, pushed, sometimes pushed, motivated, and they need to have world class vision, values, mission, and which will drive them, and mentors and guides who can drive them. And we have 49% data scientists and AI right now, specialists who are working in the industry, but they are not effective data scientists or AI researchers right now, 49%. And 97 million new openings till 2030 will be there, but will not have effective data scientists and researchers, because uh, actually people just think learning for job or learning for money, but they don't think that it is as a karma, as an worship, as Krishna ji says in Gita ji, that um, you don't worry about the fruits, you just do your karma. But we, I think, have not understood that and not applied even that verse in our lives, that whatever we do, we give 1,000% to it, and irrespective of what we get back, we are always calculating the returns of our efforts. And then we are into that calculation only. We don't focus at the excellence. That is the problem. But potential is there, but it is not unlocked, or we don't have mentors or a system or an education policy, or even parents don't know, even students don't know what should they do. And when I mentor students, so my first thing is that I ask them to have crazy goals, crazy mission, which will serve humanity, have values, right values, and keep working today. Whatever you are working on, have a 50 years, 40 years mission and vision, and then keep working towards it. Whatever AI comes or intelligence comes, it will not do anything to you, because you are working on a mission. So even it will help you to progress. So you don't need to worry about whether you have a job or not, you work for excellence. That is what
Right.
there are different elements which I have described.
Right. Right. But nowadays we have, while teaching students, we have multiple platforms. I'll say both online and offline. And even you have been using many prestigious platforms like Udemy, the Harvard programs, and the IITs. So, according to you, what was the most memorable moment in your teaching experiences?
Actually, I was reborn when I started. I did all the certifications, and one day I asked my friend in Wipro Technology I was working. So I asked him, I want to understand the world. I see problem in the way the world is designed. So I asked him, I want to understand the design of the world, and he said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I want to become a monk, and then I will understand for 2 3 years, and then I'll come and serve." So in that direction. So once I understand, so he said, "Why you want to do that? You just start Vipassana and you." So at that time, when I did my first course, it was very harsh, and it was 50 degrees Celsius and single brick wall, and there's a lot of heat, lot of sweat, lot of, and I'm not able to sleep. Uh, Outer side I was very discomfortable, but inside I was happy that I have found the path of righteousness, truth, and which I was searching. And that day I was actually reborn. It took me 3 years to understand. So I went to a level of shivatva, level of, like, you reach to a level of zero, wherein you think that I know one thing, that I know nothing. And I think that is the beginning of actual knowledge. Once you So that day I was satisfied that yes, this is actually the knowledge, that when I know one thing and I know nothing, and everything is like every day, every moment is a new moment. I have to have a new, like, childlike approach to learn it every day till I die. So that was a breakthrough in my life, and I think we all need to reach to that level of, you call it shivatva, or you call it zero, level of nothingness, when you don't think, but universe manifests its plan to you, and you get intuition from the universe that you have to do this each day. And you don't need motivation, you don't need somebody telling you you do this, and you see life manifesting to you, and you keep moving towards that. It's like magnetic force attracting you towards that. And you need to be pure. That's why I said values, right values, right mission, right vision. That will definitely attract you.
Wow. So, this is actually amazing listening to you because, on one hand, you are a mentor in a technology that is currently trending, the AI and ML, right? And you have been
Right.
teaching students. On the other hand, you go back to Shivatva, Krishna consciousness, Vipassana meditation. And I have seen many a times when the current lot of students in India, when we talk about all this age old practices, they don't actually accept it or agree to it. They feel that it does not have a scientific element to it, right? So,
Hmm.
kind of, I've seen many a times that this generation turns into a theist. So, but you are one person who is practicing and teaching Vipassana meditation. And according to you, what role then does self awareness or practices like these actually play their role in achieving the professional success? And how has it influenced your journey? So, what do you have to say to the current generation, this Gen Z, that how do you actually merge the two? How do you do that?
So actually, we have three level of intelligence. One is in our gurukuls we were taught actually to vidya. Vidya means self knowledge, knowing self, and shiksha means skills, and then there is you need to be whatever whatever you become, doctor or engineer or something, whatever. So that is your profession. But now, everything begins with karma, actually. So, karma is like you asked me that first is the realization. So, when you get connected with universe, all the prophets, uh, all the people who were on the truth, you see the pattern, same pattern. You see the same pattern in Krishna ji. You see same pattern in Ram ji. You see same pattern in Jesus Christ. You see, they were not selfish. They never lived for themselves. So then, when I call myself as a devotee, I need to have those values. Otherwise, there's no need to call X, Y, or Z. We need to have those values and we need to practice. So then I see all the religion practice is Vipassana. If you see all religions and you practice Vipassana, you are actually practicing all the religions, because all religion teaches you, they teach you morality, they teach you be good human being, they teach you how not, don't do good bad to others, do good to others, don't think bad, always do good, always think good, have greater vision. uh, in tough times, don't make mistakes, and always have faith in God. If you see any religion, and when I practice Vipassana, one is I become clear. I become my clarity is there. I clean myself and I practice the values, and that makes me applied religious person. One is your name is this, then they will, or somebody will say, oh, this person may be belonging to practicing this and that. But names are just tags. Somebody has XYZ name and somebody belongs to here and there. But actually, is he considering everybody as his brothers and every female as a sister and mother and father, everyone? That's what, when we talk about Sanatan is considering every human being, every being as one family, a global family. But do we practice that? One is I say, the other thing is, do I actually believe? One is I say, I discuss, I talk, but then do I genuinely believe? These two things are very different. So when I actually or genuinely believe, there is no conflict.
Right,
They
right.
in my communication or interaction with the world, there won't be any conflict, because I have become Shivatva. That is what is Shivat. He has snake here, and then he's not afraid of even snake. That's symbolic, right? Because he has a communion with the snake, or all the beings of the universe. That's what is the representation. So then there is no conflict. Meaning, the why Shiva has a snake here is that, even if people consider snake as enemy, but that enemy is also here, because you have reached to a level of consciousness that even snake is not going to harm you, because you have a communion with the snake. So the thing is that we, whether it is religion, whether it is education, or whether it is understanding of the world, we are actually scratching at the surface. We don't have deeper levels of understanding, and we are not practicing whatever religion we belong to. Whatever religion we actually, one practice is not physical activity, going to temple, going to here, there, and having such kind of presence, that is 1%. Actually, is genuinely, do you believe and practice those values, what the prophets and the people you follow, the gods who gave the message, and the mentors and the prophets who gave the message, do you genuinely follow that, and you practice that day in day out, while you sleep, while you eat, while you sit, while you walk, while you talk? And then karma yoga will happen. When you are always like, God is there, he's watching my karma. So Krishnji is there, Ramji is there, he's watching my karma. So I should not even think, not have sensations at that level. And my karma yoga, whatever I do, whatever I raise my hand, it is also karma yoga. Whatever I think inside. So when I believe in 100%, then whatever I touch, it becomes gold. Then there is no afraid of AI, ML, or AI taking over, because you are above all, and the consciousness. Then you will have a consciousness and awareness, which it doesn't need to be verified. We are not here to prove this theorem of whether this religion is right or not, whether when you see those patterns at a deeper level, okay, and then you feel that, and you have that consciousness. And I'll just give a forecast: in next 100 years, consciousness will be religion. And if we don't have two qualities, one is, which already Sanatan has said, but I see rarely few people who practice that genuinely. One is considering the entire universe as one family, not as globe. Entire universe as one family, and caring like you care for your family. Second is having highest levels of consciousness and self-awareness. If we don't have, then I forecast that human beings will not remain human beings. They will become robots ultimately, because even if you have body, you will be controlled by metrics. We are already controlled by governments and laws, this, that. So you are not actually controlled by consciousness. Once you raise consciousness to a level, you don't need laws. You are already disciplined. You don't need controls. You will never do any harm to any being. So then we don't need laws, all these things. We only need it because we have limitations. We are not that good. And we need to have that. If we don't have, then humanity will die in next 100 years. That's my predictions.
Okay, definitely. Let's see what will happen. But because AI is booming, I think there is not a person on planet who has not heard about it. And I would say there's more like a bittersweet relationship with it. There are people, on one hand, I would say we want to learn it. On the other hand, we are even afraid of it because we feel it might take away our jobs, right? And somehow, like once when computers were introduced in our country, and then it penetrated to in almost all fields. Now we cannot think of an area where computers are not being used. Similarly, is the case with AI, right? A person with a technical background or with a non-technical background will somehow be actually using it. So as a mentor, as a trainer, what skills do you think every student must learn today? And what emerging trends or technologies do you believe will shape the future of these fields? Because no doubt every student aspires to be a successful professional, right? And if there are bottlenecks, it is leading to frustration. So, what can be the real knowledge for these youngsters?
Yeah. So I think first of all, we need to be non-biased towards knowledge. So I've studied many subjects to understand the holisticness of education, and I believe in systems design. So I did breadth for search. I studied economics. I studied accounting. I studied business management. I studied science, medical, non-medical. Studied mathematics. Studied physics,
Wow.
chemistry, all those stuff. So fundamentally, I've understood and know the basic concepts of them. And then I understood the anthropology. I studied many religion, and I studied Sam Veda and Natya Shastra, the creative side of it, the analytical side of it. And what I would suggest is you be a great non-biased researcher in life. That would be a fundamental thing. Whether there will be AI or not, you will be always ahead. These are fundamental things. And even if there would be AI, you will create something greater discovery, something great new invention, something new. You will do that. And in India, especially, we were researchers, and our GDP was 27%. And
Right.
we were never meant for jobs. Jobs few people will do, but everybody in India was an entrepreneur. In If you see in 1600, our GDP was, and then we did not cope up because we did not had research, education and research centers and people like nobody was guiding them. And then when we were colonized, and our GDP went to minus 5, and we are struggling around 5 to 6 right now. It is because of now we don't have a research country. We are not. So if you see uh, uh, the world, people who are ruling the world are Jewish people, and they get the maximum Nobel prizes because they are deeply research. They do deep research, and that is what is required for, I'll say, India. If you want to become world class country and serve the world, I think each every Indian first has to become world class researcher, and then we'll have thousands of innovators, and we need hundreds of uh, trillion-dollar startups. So then our economy will go above 50%. So that is my prediction, that if we do that, then this will happen. If we don't do that, then if we keep doing whatever we are doing, so we'll go to 10 or maximum 12. And then, because on surface level no innovation comes, you have to do very deep level of research. That is point number
Right.
one, that where our students, our future generation should focus on. Second is learning technology like AI, ML, quantum computing, continuously learning and upgrading skills. You will fail 100 times, 1,000 times, 1 lakh times. Don't give up. Always learn, always try to learn these technologies. You will not understand them in one day because they are from hundreds of years back, they have been developed. Even when let me talk about AI. When human beings, our ancestors, discovered discovery of fire, when they rubbed two stones and accidentally fire was generated, that was AI at that point of time for human being. He was even afraid of that fire when it was generated, and because of that, we started cooking the food so that if we eat uncooked food, we'll have a lot of diseases in us. At that point of time, this was AI for the human being when he discovered fire. And
Right.
that fire, if I take example and analogy, that fire still exists in our kitchen, in our houses. We have pipeline of gas and stuff. It is more dangerous than AI if we use it wrongly. We can cook a nice meal to serve somebody and burn somebody with this fire. So same
Right.
way AI can be used both positive and negative. So when we have a consciousness and serving the world vision and right values, ethics, mission, vision to serve the world, we'll definitely use AI for good. That is point number one.
Right.
Then the technologies which will come in the future. But then there would be another side that if we don't have these, then it will go against, it will burn us and it will burn others. And so we need to know the ethics of it, technologies. We need to keep learning. First of all, like oxygen, we need to be deep researchers. Second, keep learning these technologies and always learn for karma. Always learn that you are going to serve. This is not this is just I want to pray, like you are doing puja, you are praying to the god, you're doing righteousness, and you need to actually believe that once you have that intention that you're learning something and you want to serve, then definitely it is going to help humanity to serve only because your intentions are pure.
Right, right. So basically, when we innovate, we must also learn how to use that mindfully, right? That innovation. So that is what the good energy and the bad energy is all about, right?
Yes.
And you've also worked on value innovations in basically trained education, I would say.
Hmm.
So, how important is innovation in the Indian education system right now? Because even I feel, because I'm being part of the education sector in the consultancy, so I do feel that there is lack of research options available to students. So, what do you think about it?
I think from the beginning, from primary school, we need to start teaching our students about research because this is oxygen, I'll say. Because till the time they reach a graduation level, then and only they will be mature researchers, and then whatever discoveries they will be doing at a master's level, that would be actually helping, or a graduation level. So that will help the humanity, their innovations will help, and once they go for phd, that will be a breakthrough research for the world. Because what we keep doing is we just wait till the phd, and in phd they just learn about the research, and then they stop. They got doctor dot, and dot is the stop, no need to learn, and you know everything, and that becomes a big ego. But that is dot is the beginning. I will say that you've gone to ground zero. You need to become Shiva, zero, Shivatva. You need to go to ground zero, saying that I need to do thousands of innovations and become a deep researcher. So, zero day has begun when I got the PhD. So, that level of attitude, when we
Beautifully said.
have in our education, then we have innovations on the way.
Yeah, beautifully said. And what advice would you give to teenagers who want to pursue a career in AI and ML but actually feel overwhelmed or lost? Or how can young learners effectively navigate the vast resources available online to build their expertise in this field in data science?
Yes. So I'll say keep things simple. Simplicity is the actual sophistication. With that, Steve Jobs built 2.327 billion trillion dollar company called Apple. And simplicity, keep things simple, keep concepts very simple, but go very deep into that and learn how to apply them. That is one thing. And how you do anything, you do everything. So have excellence in your actions and keep improving each day. If you improve 1% a day, 365 days, you are a totally complete changed person. And keep changing and improving because life is changing. So keep improving your skills and learning and be agile, and keep learning. Be non-biased to knowledge, I'll say, because when you're non-biased to knowledge, whatever is the future, you keep learning to advance proactively, so that when that skill is required, you are there to solve that problem. And
Right.
AI, ML, and data science, keep things simple. So learn the computer science mathematics very deeply, learn the algorithms very deeply, then learn the concepts very deeply, and learn them to build projects and make innovations through AI ML and build something great and solve the real world problems with those algorithms and the concepts and the things, and learn to design problem statements deeply, then learn to collect data, clean data, uh, do EDA, exploratory data analysis, pre-processing, then build models, know how to use the models, and then build, test, and train the models, and then go and deploy them and build world class solutions which will serve the humanity. I think that is the best way, with simplicity, depth, and learning end to end about the technologies and the skills which will be coming in the future, and knowing yourself, who you are, reaching to a level of shivatva, always being at a zero, so that you don't have ego. When you are at shivatva, your ego is zero, and once ego is zero, your learning is always growing, you're always humble, you're always innovating, you're always there for others. And definitely when you create a lot of restaurants of food, so you are never hungry. So we are always, ego tells us that lesser consciousness, this is the lowest level of consciousness, insecurity, AI is going to take over, this is going to happen, he will take my property, this, that. Never have such insecurities, because when you have such insecurities, you become that kind of person. So whatever you focus on, that grows. So always have a greater vision, work for it, and keep learning continuously. Don't have to worry. Focus and attention is another greatest asset, not money, buildings, and money you have. Even if you have billions of dollars, your focus and attention is um, not there. So what will happen is you lose everything in one day. If you have focus and attention, and you know yourself, you have consciousness, you are genuinely considering the whole universe as one family, then you don't have to worry. There is no worry. There is, you are ultimately connected to the universal consciousness, and you don't have to worry. Universe is there to help you in any situation. So I think that is the vision we need to have, and those are the skills we need to have. With shiksha, we need to have vidya and the consciousness of universe, and we need to work with such things, and yet being grounded. Even if you have such a knowledge, but you need to be grounded and feeling that still I don't know anything, because universe is infinite, God is infinite. Yes.
But if I may ask you, basically for the kids, because now the AI curriculum has been included in school education, and I believe as early as class sixth, they are teaching concepts of an AI and ML to students. So, like, even these concepts involve programming languages, and there are multiple programming languages in the sector. So which is, according to you, which is the one programming language, like the first step the student should take towards that, so that
So
he
have a
can gradually
mastery,
build on that?
yeah, have a mastery of C language. It is mother of all languages. Learn
Okay.
C, I'll say, uh, deeply understand C, and then learn Python after that. And once you understand C, I think with 100% very deeply, if you understand C, then learn Python. Python is very English level, like a language. And after that, learn the computer science mathematics deeply, know the algorithms, know the models, know the concepts, and build projects. And you will continuously keep learning, so you will get to know your way of learning, how you are learning. But and visualize the concepts, visualize them, and see the patterns in real life. Correlation, do correlation, that how I can apply this knowledge, whatever I have learned today. And then you will be fascinated, that you will keep learning new things, so that you feel fascinated that okay, I'll I'll keep applying and solving these problems. So build that kind of knowledge body.
So this is actually amazing to know that even after so many decades, C has not lost its relevance. It
Yeah,
is
I
still
ask the
there.
first question to my students that how much you know C. So they'll say 4 out of 10. I'll say learn C properly because see that is because I will not ask you learn this, but see if you know. I think you can learn any language. Very, that's a cup of tea. Learning other languages is a cup of tea. Main thing is learning C. That's
Okay.
mother of all
Okay.
languages.
Okay. So I'm actually loving this conversation, but yes, we have time constraints. So coming to the towards the end of this podcast, one last one for you. That what's next for Dr. Noble Arya? Or what is your vision for Noble Transformation Hub in the next decade? Or let's say,
So,
if I want to put it, how do you plan to continue inspiring and empowering the future generations?
so my vision is to make India a world-class research country, and then let us serve the world, and not to show off that Indians are great, but uh, because we are doing karma yoga. So we don't need appreciation, we don't need depreciation. We need to continuously do righteousness, do karma yoga, and keep serving the world with our innovations, breakthroughs, and wisdom. And and then ultimately, the universe is one family. So we don't have to show anybody we are great or not great. We are just being a family, and that is what my mission is. My vision is that to make a world a very beautiful place with technology, with consciousness, with the right values, and make it a one family, and together let's solve the real challenges and real problems together, and not being in politics. So I will never ever touch politics. That is my one of the value, because I believe is I can serve being a normal human being, and be very neutral, and serve global humanity, and I don't need anything for that. My karma and my intentions and the vision, and if God wants that I should be doing it, then I'll be successful. If not, then I won't be. So I believe in karma, and I'll keep doing what I'm doing. But I want to solve the real problem, like education. I want to make affordable education for all, healthcare. I want to make for all with innovation. I want to explore the space to do space mining, wherein we can do a lot of research, and we can uh, understand space deeply. And also, I want to make people realize that everything is within them, and they don't need to get anything from outside. So it's not a materialism, it is like knowing yourself. So those are the things. And also I want to create startups and companies, and environment, especially in India, in the world, first India in the world, to solve the genuine and real problems of now and the future. So those are the uh, that is the vision I have with education, and skilled education, and consciousness, and vidya and shiksha.
Wow, these are really the big ones. And while talking to you, I'm saying that we are approaching the end of the podcast, but listening to you, more and more questions are coming to my mind, right? So
Critical
I
thinking.
actually want to stop that. But yes, because my listeners are mainly, the Gen Z, right? So, as a last one, it is for both technical and non-technical. Like one might be in the IT sector, or the other one might be an economics graduate, right? So to be the world-class researcher, what are the three most essential steps that these people should actually take so that they are on the right path?
So I'll say that first is to have a greatest vision in your life. Your worth is measured by the vision you have, the values you have, the mission you have in life. That is the one thing. Second is then striving for that mission to get accomplished. Only dreaming is not going to help you. You need to make efforts. You need to have sleepless nights. You'll go through a lot of challenges, but you need to keep dreaming, keep improving, keep moving towards it. And then you need to keep learning the skills and knowing continuously yourself. And knowing self is actually helping a lot, 99%. And then you keep improving and reflecting on how you're going to improve. And continuously, once you do that, and like when you know yourself and you keep improving each day, so then it's a never ending journey actually. So continuous motivation, but your vision, mission and values will actually keep you grounded and on the path. But for that, yeah, so along with that, you need to be a deep researcher. So for that, you need to have these set of values first. And because research is a lot of people will not do research because they think, oh, it is only for PhD, so or it is only for scientists. So I will say that Edison did not go to school. He just went 3 months to school, but he had 1,000 innovations, more than 1,000 innovations on his name. And that was the first company, like GE was the first company I entered for me. And we have some similarities, like that I was also, luckily, I got into his company. So that means that if you are a researcher and if you are not even gone to school, still you can innovate so much that your generations will not be hungry and you will solve a lot of problems. That is the power of research. But it is like the three elements which you asked me, the question is that curiosity, continuous passion for innovation, and solving problems. Because when it comes solving problem, we actually do research to solve problems. Because our 50% uh, our research begins, actually is completed when we design a problem statement. So problem statement is 50% PhD done. So when we learn that and we are deep problem solvers, and this is one aspect. And then mission, vision, values, and knowing self, and continuously working and improving yourself on the research, on self, on skills, and the whatever work we are doing. So that will make a holistic personality. And like we eat food. So I'll say, if somebody wants to have a greater life, the way you eat food, you need to do research. The way you eat food, you need to know yourself. The way you eat food, you need to have vision. The way you eat food, you need to have mission. The way you eat food, you need to have values. The way you eat food, you need to have something, some purpose with which you will fit your mission, vision, values, research, innovation, and solve problems. And ultimately, we are problem solvers. Whether I am into education, or you are into education, or somebody is designing a product, or somebody is from IIT, somebody is from design school, everybody, IS officer, everybody is solving problems. So when we become deep researchers with such values, and with karma yoga intention, that this is I am doing puja, I am praying the god with my actions. So then I think it really impacts, and it creates the ripple effect, and then world is a great place.
You are right, but don't you think this is exactly the dilemma the students face? Because many a times they know what they want. Because I would say the current Gen Z is much more, you can say, evolved, right? But their dilemma exists how? Instead of what, they are more worried about how.
That
Because
is the
there
problem.
they are looking for, huh.
That is the problem. That is the problem, actually. That is what I said. It is when Krishnji asked to Arjunji that, okay, he asked him, you do this action. He said, I can't do it because he sees the present reality. So that was a problem with, like, Arjunji, entire Gita. He says, Krishnji says to Arjunji that you, this, he gives the clarity. But in today's generation, there are two, three problems. One is clarity. The other thing is how. They want to know how. They want to know tactics. They don't have patience. The average attention time is 9 seconds. So the thing is that uh, that is a surface level thing. Even they don't know what. When I go to school, universities, and colleges, so when I ask the semantic level of meaning, so that is not there. They have not studied. I used to use dictionary, encyclopedia, reference books. Even I used to buy reference books for textbooks. Like, you have textbooks, but I will buy reference book also for that, so that I can go deeper and understand concept at a deeper level. I'll buy dictionary for each subject, so that I know semantic level of understanding of that meaning, and I know from etymology that from where this word has come, and then I'll drive my inference about that word, that I don't have to remember, because then it is there. It's there in
Right,
front of me. In the question, the answer is 90% answer is there. But the Gen Z has no patience, and they don't have patience. They don't have depth. They just want to know how. You are going to fail, because you need to know what deeply. You need to know why deeply. How will happen. So they want
right,
to do
right.
shortcut, but
Agree.
90% is what and why. How is just 10%. Like earlier generations, they were after what. Now generations are how. You are missing why. So
Right, right,
why is actually clarity, which if you study Bhagavad Gita, you will see that Krishnji tells to Arjunji why, and that is critical thinking, and our generation is missing critical thinking.
right, right. Thank you, Dr. Arya, for this enlightening discussion, and I was loving it all the way. And I'm sure the same feeling will be in our listeners too.
Yeah, I
Thank you for being
definitely
here, sir.
loved it, and I love each time I interact with you. And I am so compassionate and passionate, and I love this each element of it, and I enjoy. And may hope this I hope this podcast will transform millions, not millions, billions of people, because till the time it will be there, and it will definitely give deep insights and golden nuggets, and transform their lives if they understand deeply at a semantic level
Right,
what we are talking.
right,
Thanks.
right. Thank you, Dr. Oh, what an inspiring and eye-opening conversation that was. Dr. Noble Arya isn't just a name in data science. He's a movement in himself. His journey proves that when passion meets purpose and when learning becomes a lifestyle, success becomes inevitable. To all our Gen Z listeners, you don't need to wait for some magic to happen. You are the magic. All you need is curiosity, consistency, and the courage to take that first step, just like Dr. Arya did. So here's your action step. Start your learning journey today, be it AI, data science, innovation, or even mindfulness. Pick one thing that excites you and go deep. Follow mentors like Dr. Arya, enroll in online programs, and don't wait for perfection. Start now, grow fast, and inspire the world. And hey, if this episode sparked something in you, share it with your friends, rate us 5 stars, and tag us on Instagram using #Kapil Gupta Career Pod Show. Until next time, this is Kapil Gupta reminding you, don't just chase a career, create one with heart, hustle, and high vision. Bye.